Let's take a look at how environments change homework. So let's start with Minha's homework. Wow, this is really good. The kudzu plant grows very fast, makes other plants die. Excellent work, Minha. Very good. Excellent. Animals can run away. That's very good. The trees burn. That's an important change to the environment in a fire. Very nice work, Emma. Excellent. Adapt, die. Very good. The other two things animals can do. Beavers build dams. Very nice. Kiwi, could you tell me what the beaver does?
The beaver cut down trees.
Is that good or bad for the environment?
Bad.
Excellent job. Bad. That's one of the things the beaver does.
The beaver hurt the environment because the beaver cut down the trees, so some insect or bird will need to train a house or will die.
Excellent job, Mickey. Very good. Excellent. So here were just some of the answers, and you guys got all of these. I want to know, is a beaver building a dam a good or a bad change? Lehan, you're right, it is a good change. It's a very good change. Hannah, why is building a dam a good change?
Because the animals can live in the beaver dam.
Excellent job. Great work. It becomes a new habitat for the animals. Okay, let's do a quick review. Minha, what does environment mean?
Environment is all the living and non-living things in a place.
Very good. All right, living and non-living things in a place. Remember that. We're about to use it. Environment, living and non-living things in a place. What is a scientist? Teddy, could you read this for me?
A scientist is a person who studies nature and the world around us by observing, testing, experimenting, and measuring.
Measuring. Excellent reading, Teddy. Those were some hard words. So scientists study nature, how things work, what lives where, how we live, everything, by observing, by testing, by experimenting, and by measuring. For example, I could have an experiment to test what has more salt, salt water or fresh water. I run tests for my experiment. Everybody say experimenting.
Experiment.
Very good. I see Mia's in class now. I'm glad everyone's showing up. So now we've learned what an environment is, and we've learned what a scientist is. So what do you think an environmental scientist is? Micah, what do you think?
I think she is the one who studies how things change the environment.
That's a good start. So a scientist who studies how things change the environment. What else is an environmental scientist? Kwang Hai, what do you think?
A person who learn about environment and saves the environment.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Excellent job, Kwang Hai. And remember, what is an environment? So an environmental scientist might study what? Maybe the living and non-living things. Are they healthy? Are they not healthy? Asi, could you read the words, the new text box that came up?
A person who studies how the living and non-living things in a place work together by setting,
So these words are hard. Can you say observing,
observing,
testing,
casting,
experimenting,
experimenting,
and measuring?
and measuring.
Very good. So they study how living and non-living things work together. If fish are dying, maybe they study the river, the non-living things. See the scientist here? They collected samples of the soil and the water and other things. They test them to see what's wrong with them. Are there too many nutrients in the river? Are there not enough? And then they can help make a plan to fix the problem, to help the environment. Okay, let's look at environmental scientists and what they do. First of all, an environmental scientist needs a lot of knowledge. And not just about the environment. Running experiments, you need a lot of other knowledge. Could you read this right here, Mia?
The environment science, physics, chemistry, geology.
Very nice. Do you remember what economics means? We learned it with the sea turtles. What is economics?
I don't know.
That's okay. Remember, economics is money, the economy. So environmental scientists need to know chemistry so that they can test the water. How's the water? Is it salty? Is there a lot of phosphorus or nutrients in it? They need to know chemistry. Geology is the study of rocks and minerals. So maybe they need to know what kind of rock or minerals are there so that they know how to help them. So that's what they need to know. This is what environmental scientists can do. They don't just researchers, they do more than just study. These are other things that they can do. Emma, could you read these for me, please?
Environmental scientists, teachers, researchers, government. They help make new laws.
Excellent. And do you remember back from sea turtles what a law is? They can also be researchers like this scientist and study the environment and how to help it. They can be a government worker to help make laws. Raise your hand if you remember.
The laws are something that we need to follow.
Excellent. So the government will make a law that says you can't steal sea turtle eggs. Then you have to follow it. You can't break the law or you go to jail or you have to pay money. So environmental scientists help make new laws to protect the environment.
What do environmental scientists do? We study the harmful effects to different kinds of environments.
Very good. Sal, do you know what a harmful effect is?
No.
So what do you think? Based on what an environmental scientist does, what do you think a harmful effect to the environment is?
It makes many animals die.
Yeah, so something that makes a lot of animals die. Kui, Kui, could you give me an example of a harmful effect to the environment?
Kill animals, kill plants, and throw trash into plants.
Excellent job. Killing plants, killing animals, throwing trash. Those are all harmful effects to the environment that an environmental scientist would study. So they find problems that affect the environment, and then they figure out ways to solve those problems by observing, experimenting, testing.
Sometimes people can harm an environment. For example, a factory might put waste into a stream. This might kill fish. We help the factory find other ways to get rid of its waste.
Excellent. So Minhui, what is the problem in this example? What is the problem to the environment?
A factory might put waste into a stream.
Excellent job. And Teddy, what is the solution the environmental scientist comes up with?
The environmental scientists come up with a new idea to help the environment.
Excellent. They come up with a new idea so the factory doesn't put their waste in the stream. So they find a problem and then they think of ways to solve it. So now let's see what we remember. What does an environmental scientist do? Kwanhai, what does an environmental scientist do? They study, what do they study?
They study about the environment.
And what is the environment? It's the living and
non-living thing in the place.
very good. So they study about the environment. How about Hannah? Go ahead, Hannah.
They study the habitat for animals.
Right. What are they checking for? What do they want to look for, Hannah?
They look for if the habitat is good for the animal.
And what if it's not? Then what do they do?
They will make a new habitat for animals to live.
So that's one solution. If not, they find a solution. They could make a new habitat. They could restore the old habitat and make it healthy again. Where do environmental scientists work?
They work in many places.
Can you give me one example?
Forest.
Excellent, like the forest. All right, let's do more. Good work. How about Lehan? Lehan, where do environmental scientists work?
In the forest or in the jungle.
The jungle, that's a new one. Do they only work in the forest or the jungle? What are some other ones?
Savannah.
In the savannah, excellent.
Ocean.
Good, they work in the ocean. After they collect all of their samples, they do their research out in the environment. Where do they take it back to look under a microscope, to test it? Where does a scientist work? Not just outside, but also where? In a
Scientist room.
Yeah, in a scientist room, you're right. What is the scientist room called? Where they have microscopes and they have beakers, they can do chemistry. All right, they take it back to a lab. It's where they do their research. So they take it back to a lab where they can test it. they test it and they do all of their research there. What type of environment would you want to study? Hacker?
The ocean.
The ocean, yeah. Where did Cindy go? How about Cassie? What environmental problems would you want to fix? If you could fix one environmental problem, what would it be, Assie?
We don't have volcanoes.
All right, volcanoes. Assie would fix volcanoes and make sure maybe that people can stay safe from them. You could research volcanoes and figure out when they will explode. Scientists have gotten much better at this and can tell people to leave before a volcano explodes, but sometimes they still miss one and people get hurt, and so do the animals. That's a good thing to study, Assie. Let's have one more. Leo. Leo, what environmental problem would you fix? Hannah and Emma said they want to help fix habitats, maybe restore habitats that have been destroyed, restore them back to how they were before. What would you do, Leo and Mia? What environmental problem? There's so many. Let's think for a second. There's pollution, there's trash, there's air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, overfishing, deforestation, so many things. Leo, what would you fix?
Forest.
Forest fire. Minha, what would you fix?
After the rainstorm.
There's storms, okay. So you would help maybe restore habitats after a big storm, or you could also predict big storms so that people can be ready for them and we can take care of the animals. Homework. You are an environmental scientist. Use your skills to study the koala bear. You're going to do that by filling in this worksheet. All right, so you're going to fill in this worksheet. Read about the koala bear and figure out the main idea. What's the main big idea? And then the details. This is research that was done by an environmental scientist about the koala. Now you're going to research and study their research. So fill in the main idea and the details. If you can't print, that's okay. Just read it on your computer and write your answers on a different piece of paper, okay? All right, I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.